Hello, sons and daughters of my mothers. Welcome to another episode of SageTalk the show. Did you come out of school smarter? I don't mean if you aced all your grades and came out in flying colors, although congratulations if you did. What I mean is, did you find what you went to look for in school? That energy, that vibe you had going into school that made you say, I'm ready to slay this phase of my life so that I can be prepared for the next phase. Does it still feel the same? Or did school just drain your energy and spit you out with a piece of paper? Did you come out of school with your purpose intact? Or did you come out clueless?
What are you doing?
Hanging around.
Don't get scared. I'm not trying to be too serious today. I'm just trying to have a laugh. Because they said laughter is good medicine after all, innit? So I'm going to start with myself. When I first got admitted to study English and Literary Studies in the University of Nigeria and Nsukka, I was very excited. I thought I was going to learn how to write, how to be a writer. I was a bit of a popular kid back then at home, so people would ask me, explain to us, you that we know, this course that you're studying, what do people do? What do you people do after school? And you know, that kind of explained to me like a 10-year-old situation. And it's supposed to be a simple answer, right? But then you start blabbering like a certain president anytime they ask him about climate change. From whatever explaining I tried to do, I can bet that if it was this day, today, one of them would probably have been like, you don't have base or sim, I can work anywhere.
Doctor, engineer, pilot, 747 Boeing.
There are many things that you will do now. There is bricklayer.
The majority of us enter school to do one thing, to come out, breeze in, breeze out. It didn't really feel like we knew exactly what we were looking for, except that we had to have a degree, or the package we subscribed for was not what we got, like ordering for a box of cherries and seeing unripe agbalumo inside. Of course, students in the medical sciences or law or a few other courses already seem to know where their destination is, so all they had to do was stick through the journey. But the rest of the pack are just simply people who couldn't make it to these big courses, or most of them at least. You know, like in those violent Asian games where people are competing for who gets to the top of the tree to maybe pluck off something, but then they have to like kick each other down to increase the competition, of course. And then the people who get slammed back to earth just decided to chill because they couldn't get to the juice, and then they just like wait out the game or cheer on the real players. The moment you didn't really get the course you are looking for, you just decided to settle for anyone, even the one you had no idea what it's about, and then you just drag yourself through and pray to God to please let me just get out. So now you are finished. What next?
Hit the ground running.
The ground in Nigeria, along it will hit you right back. My concern is not that people studied these other courses, or that the 4 to 5 years you spent studying them could have better served you if you used it to arrange for a small homeschooling package and then immediately hit the ground running on some other lucrative venture like drug pushing. Okay, no, don't push drugs. No matter how celebrated that career is, even if you later become the president. Because come to think of it, what will it profit you to become a president and have people like Tunde not post you every time with "it is well" as caption? My concern also is not about the 10% or so who studied what they wanted to study, or those ones who somehow fell in love with the ones they found themselves in and became so good at it that they are now so indispensable to that sector. Those ones found a way to align their purpose with the course they are studying, or something like that. Finally, my concern is not also for another small minority of people who already have their beds made for them and don't really have to do much searching to find a spot. Children of well-placed parents and that sort of thing. My concern is the rest of us. People who just went to school because it seemed necessary to. Like nomads, you never really settled. But the world does not have enough grazing ground for your millions of white dreams. So you throw them out the window and struggle to fit into what you don't really even know. My thing is, school can either brighten your stars or dull them to death, depending on the level of clarity you had about what you really wanted before you started. If by the time you get into school you're already wanting out because you are studying feels like this compulsory game you have to play first before you are given freedom, what it simply means is that you have to pause and ask yourself, what am I really chasing? The spectrum of human talents and abilities will probably have 1,000 items if they were counted. But in Nigeria, for example, schools just lump them together into a few hundred courses and try to teach it to you as this life-saving knowledge you must possess if you want to become something in life. Turns out when you come out to the real world, you never even start with your big asambodo because you cannot solve any problem in the real world with it. So surprise, the education system is not who he thinks he is. I don't know what you will make of all these things I'm saying, but whether you're out of school already or in school or trying to get into school, and you can identify some of these things I'm saying with your own personal story, I'm just asking you to stop and reconnect with your original self and what your original self has always been good at. Then apply yourself at it and become the best you can at it. Then turn it into something. Then become something. It doesn't matter what school has designated you as. Maybe a botanist, even though we know you don't like plants. Or maybe as a historian, even though we all know you really don't like talking about the past. If the place you found yourself in school is just a place you're waiting to be spat out with a piece of paper, then start asking yourself these questions and start investing in the right skill and knowledge around what you really care about. You can use ChatGPT and do your assignments and just get through the course that you don't like anyways. But you're already doing that. So just don't restrict yourself to what the system says you are to become. See you next time, sons and daughters of my mothers.